Good afternoon. This is Media Center Ukraine Odesa, and we continue. In the upcoming 10-15 minutes, we will discuss the work of the Veterans Hub front office in Odesa. Our guest is Oleksandr Korovai, Director of the Municipal Institution Service Office Veteran Hub. Good afternoon, Oleksandr. At the beginning of October this year, the Service Office Veteran Hub have been opened in Odesa. Could you share results? Good afternoon. I'm glad to welcome everyone. Yes, the office was opened under the umbrella of the Department of Labor and Social Policy of the Odessa State Regional Administration. And this is a very important tool to provide quick services and aid to our veterans and the families of fallen soldiers, because they are facing a lot of issues now, and they have to visit different offices to get status or services. And our objectives is to unite all these services under umbrella of our Veteran Hub and to provide quick quality services. We opened 3 weeks ago, and now we are recruiting people and train them, because this requires some training for people and their readiness, and we are looking for people who have the same experience as our military or their families, the people with specific skills and that who know how to help. This will be also members of families of fallen soldiers, people with disabilities as a result of the war, and also the families with the servicemen or servicewomen at the front line, and they are well aware of the situation. And this is very great to create such community of people who understand each other, and they will be able to provide services to beneficiaries and to themselves. So the main idea is that you hire either veterans or their relatives. Could you share more details about the training that you've mentioned, and how many people have you already found or recruited over the last 3 weeks? Now we are looking for people having a specific background, and we need to ensure advanced training for those people. And of course, people should not only be able to provide some assistance or be able to properly communicate with the visitors to Veteran Hub. So we're speaking here about mental, psychological aspects, because people can feel differently, and sometimes we can expect different responses and reaction to these people. So our employees should be able to provide basic mental support to visitors. But we are also hiring lawyers who have already gained practice in their work with the military when it comes to the military legal framework, and also psychologists. We will have a leading psychologist and a psychologist, people with the higher education. But are these military psychologists? No, because we can work both with the military and civilians. And of course, we're focusing on people who are from the area, from this sphere, and the people who have been working since 2014. So we are interested in such people. And the military is more eager in their communication to those people who have been at the front line. And of course, and when it comes to civilian psychologists, they also should visit the front line to feel the atmosphere, to communicate with the servicemen and servicewomen there. So if our visitors ask our psychologists, have you been there? They can openly say that, yes, we've been there, we've seen what happens there, and it will improve the communication. And how many people have you already recruited? We still have some vacancies And there are some people who are eager to work with us, but we have specific requirements. These should be people with higher education, and we have higher educational institutions and universities in our city that will be able to ensure advanced training or quick training for our future employees. So this is the first and the pilot project because we have united all our services in one place. It's like a single window for our veterans. People, veterans referring to us, can get all package of services at one place, like the issuing a foreign passport, different certificates, status of veteran or the status of a person with disabilities as a result of the war, or the member of a family of the fallen soldier. And there they will be also to provide all documents to get payments from the state. And there are important initiatives for the families of the fallen soldiers, of those families who have their family members on the front line, and they will be able to get all information needed at the front hub, and also in the social service department, at territorial centers as well. And they will be also able to get pensions there, and there will be one more person there, a person on recruitment, a representative of the employment center. Yesterday we had the meeting with the representatives of employment centers from the city and from the region, and they were also the military, the head of the territorial recruitment center and social support, and we discussed the coordinated activities because employment of the military, of veterans, of people with disabilities is very important to simplify the social adaptation to the maximum extent possible for a person to be able to quickly adjust their skills and to find job. And we've had yesterday all the representatives of the territorial recruitment centers from the region. They were with us online. They heard everything, that a lot of initiatives from the recruitment, from the employment center, like free training, the places for people with disabilities. The money has been allocated, and it is very great. It's really great to see that the state not only supports but also encourages people and motivates people to refer to different to such centers, because there is the financial support, the grant program. We like it and we enjoy that, and everything will be fine. As for monetary support, are these payments from the municipal council? We also have the state social programs, and we have also the local targeted program when it comes to payments. So these are the additional funds envisaged by the state budget. Yes, of course, the money has been already allocated for this year, and it will be, and the money will be allocated for the next year as well. And we understand that the veterans and the people with disabilities, the result of the war, and the members, family members of servicemen and servicewomen will only increase in number. Everything is envisaged by the state budget, and it is planned to expand this program. So the work is ongoing, and that's great when we have the proper understanding between the veteran communities, local bodies, local authorities, and the military. And our task as the Veteran Hub is to become a coordination center between all these branches. These are the recruitment centers, military commissariats, NGOs, charitable foundations, other civil initiatives, local authorities, and veterans can receive the biggest amount of information and the resources they can use to get not only to get aid support, but also to find the community where they will feel safe to adapt as quick as possible. And we say now that veterans don't need subsidies, they need guarantees, and veterans should be aware of that. And I have a question about payments. What amount of money could families of fallen heroes receive? It's up to 15 million hryvnias. Yes, we know about the program, but from the municipal council, when it comes to additional payments, they're different amounts because the programs are different. So it depends on the needs of a person. So it could be support, prostheses, or food products. There's a whole range of products depending on the needs of veterans, the family members of the fallen soldiers, and so there is the whole range of questions. But on average, it's more than 100,000 hryvnias. And what family members can receive such support? Do you have any criteria? Yes, of course, but we should speak about the legislative framework. And so there are different cases when servicemen or servicewomen have children from other families or marriages, and so it depends on individual case. There are the programs envisaged by the state or at the municipal level. We only provide advice, and we also help to find resources for people to understand where they could refer to. We are like a road map. We just provide information about what specific steps shall be taken to achieve a specific objective, what is envisaged by the law, and what money is needed for veterans, what is their objectives or targets. If a serviceman or servicewoman injured while performing tasks, their compensations envisaged by the state, the amounts are quite big. And it depends about if there are people with disabilities or not. If with disabilities, then the compensation will be higher. So there is the different classes and grades. As for the municipal support, the city can provide like one-time financial support. There are some utility services can be covered, but this is all in line with the law of social support to veterans. And the city also can help with the processes because there is a part of the amount which is covered by the state, and there is the parallel program from the city. And last week we had a working meeting, and for people to be able to get money, and this is additional support to what is covered by state. And some issues are covered by the municipal budget for people to get what they need. So you provide administrative, consultative, social services. And what services are most popular among veterans? We also ensure monitoring to understand better veterans' needs. And basing on this information, we can make proposals. What is needed, what is better, but usually they refer to us to get certificates, statuses, and subsidies. So we use the word guarantees instead of subsidies, so we provide such guarantees. And this is very important for veterans to understand that they will have something to make their living before they find some job, and the jobs can be found with the help of employment centers. So we have now a closed cycle. There is a whole chain, and we play an important part. in this process, because a lot of servicemen, servicewomen go through the military commissariat, but they are not only our defenders. But when it comes to defense services, this also covers the national police, the state bodyguard service, the state emergency service, the state security service of Ukraine, and other bodies. And these people are covered by other institutions. But when it comes to benefits, to statuses, they can also refer to us. So we need to also coordinate our activities with the mentioned bodies. So we organize round tables, working meetings, conferences, briefings to improve this coordination and to ensure cooperation with different stakeholders to better understand our needs and also to coordinate our activities to the maximum extent possible. Coordination is very important because it will be easier for us to scale up because the amount of people referring to us will only increase. And we hope that our victory will be quite soon, sooner than we expect, and we will have a lot of veterans from the front line, and people will refer to us, and we should be ready to that. We need to hire additional employees and to organize the system. You mentioned the monitoring. And I understand that before opening the center, you've also conducted monitoring to identify the most important issues which are of interest to our soldiers. Yes, there are a lot of questions, and I'm a veteran myself, and that's why I know how many questions can people have even during their service, and when veterans they leave the army because of different reasons, and when they leave military units, some of them need mental support, and others don't need that mental support because there have not been some major mental or physical traumas, and they refer usually to get some guarantees, documents, or some payments. And then not all people have the documents that they need, all these certificates. And when they say that you need to have the package of documents, they understand that they just left some documents in their military units in a haste. And we, as the military, the practitioners who know how everything works in a military unit, we also advise how to get these documents. And sometimes it is difficult because there are different situations. And when it comes to mobilized military units, it is not that difficult. But there are ways how to get the documents, and we provide our advice on an individual basis. Sometimes they need to refer directly to their command or through the military commissariat. So we just know what people could expect, and we can anticipate that. And we also provide advice. If a person is at the front line having some issues or claims, can such a person refer to you? And if yes, can you provide such remote support? It is rather difficult to provide remote support because we need to deal with the people who directly refer to us. And as for remote issues, of course, we are always ready to provide support. We will do everything that can be done on our side. But there are a lot of hotlines. And actually, I've monitored their work as well to understand if they answer the call. Because when you advise people to refer to another institution, to the hotline of the Ministry of Defense or social service, we need to check if they really work. I've checked that they work, different programs, they also work. And if you cannot address directly to our veteran hub, then you can also refer to a hotline. There is a lot of information on the web, and all of them are ready to provide quality service. If a person has been just mobilized and if they have some issues, can they refer to you because you've mentioned that you have lawyers? Perhaps if they have the questions to mobilization, can people refer to you with such questions? For initial consultation of initial advice, of course, we will have lawyers who will be able to provide advice at the initial stage. And we do not deal with the secondary legal support. As for the primary legal support, people can refer to us. And we also have the free centers providing free primary legal support. They are the hotlines, they are offices and branches in different regions. And there are a lot of issues that you have mentioned now, but we work more with those soldiers who are on the front line on their service. Sometimes they find me on Facebook or on the web, and they ask what documents they should collect for mobilization, and we provide advice, because when they have all the documents obtained from their military unit, they can come to the military commissariat and they will face no major issues with the payments. Then they refer to the social services, and if they have all documents, then they can get everything rather quickly. For 2-3 months, they are able to get their guarantees or payments provided by the state. And when it comes, for example, the payments because of the injuries, people should wait for several months or for 6 months. It takes time. And when it comes to social services and to the municipal programs, then the decisions are made quite quickly. And if people have enough certificates and documents, if everything's fine, then this process is rather quick. And the next month, people are able to get financial support from the city. Questions, Michal? Can you explain us, and when we organized this briefing, when we invited you to this press conference, and I saw that you are the front office of the Veteran Hub that is located in Stara Partofrantovskaya since 2018. Am I right to understand that this is the same organization, or these are two different organizations? These are two different organizations because they work from 2018, and we have just opened. We opened on the 3rd of October. They are not a municipal institution, and we are a municipal institution of the Odesa Municipal Council under the umbrella of the Department of Labor and Social Policy. This is the municipal initiative. In our front office, there are all representatives of the services as the service providers, pension fund, social service. So they are representatives of all these bodies in one place that can provide advice to people, but not limited with its services, because people can get documents, certificates, and payments at our office, at our hub. So before opening of that front office, veterans did the same, but without your involvement. So the question is, has your front office expedited the issuing of the documents? When I was trying to get payments, and I saw that the route was too long. For example, if I live in HAB Rayon, or district, and there I got my certificate, and this is where I got my payments. And for me, to get some documents for pensions, other documents, I had to go to another part of the city and get everything there. But then I had to come back to my district, and if I had some other needs, then I had to go to another part of the city. And you see, it is not very it is very difficult to enjoy such long trips, especially when there are traffic jams and also there are a lot of queues. But the idea of our front office is to have a single window providing all services to our veterans. Now it's clear. And how you can assess the speed of the process? This is our pilot project, and it's like a testing mode. But I think that it will speed up the process in several times because you just don't need to waste your time to get somewhere. And actually, it's always it is not that irritative because sometimes you think that you are just will get something, but you need to visit a different part of the city. So we will try to improve the process, and I think that people should assess our work. And the monitoring that you've mentioned, it is important for us to get feedbacks from our beneficiaries, how we can improve our work. If this is a pilot project, how many people have received services at your hub for last 20 days, a bit less? At the moment, according to the information I have, several dozens of people have already referred to us, but we still need to increase our visibility for people to know about us. People still refer directly to the social services or pension fund. And the more people know about us, the better. And this is great that we can train and we will have better awareness of the people's needs. And when we have more people, there will be no discrepancies and we will be able to answer all questions. And if I understand right, the pension fund and the whole branch of social support provided from the government, it is too much regulated. And it is, if there is a mistake in a date, then you have to redo everything. And is your institution covered by the legal framework? Don't you have any questions from the pension fund or from other legal entities that provide the same services with regard to your activities? We don't put any dates. We do not provide documents. The only thing that we can provide is information about what and how to refer to. And the representatives of the structural institutions, they can provide advice. So we are only like an advisor for the veteran to make it as simple as possible to receive payments and guarantees which are envisaged by the law. And we provide this kind of a vector of movement, so to say. We direct people because in some cases, people just leave one office and they don't know what to do next. And usually, when they ask specialists, they cannot provide information because they are unaware. And so we do not provide consultation about how to fill in the form. So they are the experts that will provide all the details. So you provide advice, monitoring, and also the understanding of the situation with the veterans. And this is a consultation. And I have the question from myself, and in Ukraine, in 7 regions, there is the project, the Veterans Friend, organized by the Ministry of Veterans. Do you have any information about possible launching of this project in Odesa, because they can also cover these services. And you've mentioned this initiative, the Veterans Friend. Yes, this is the state program, and the Minister on Veterans has told about that program. And there will be the institutions of Veterans Friends. They are going to hire around 400 people. These people are undergoing training at the moment. The project has not been launched yet, and as far as I understand, that they are going to work as soon as they have their training completed, and Odesa is not included in the program because of some reasons, but Odesa should be the part of the process, but that's why we offered the parallel initiative in line with the state policy. And what is the most important, why we are interested in hiring veterans and the families of deceased soldiers. They are not interested in politics. They want to support their brothers and sisters in arms to the maximum extent possible. And this is our main mission. This is our main objective. This is what we are going to do to the maximum extent possible. Tell us, please, does your front office support to get certificate of a person with a disability? We provide advice. What you can get, what guarantees are envisaged, and where they can be provided. Because there can be a situation where you need just to visit something twice, and before that you need to visit one more body. And to avoid such situations, we as practitioners are able, because we are veterans ourselves, we can provide advice how to do that better. And there is a big program to deal with the consequences of the war. And depending on the group, there are different guarantees and different financial payments and the state support. And this is how we consult and support in providing information. But the payments are made by our centers of providing social services. And you've mentioned that not so many people are aware of your activities. And could you share information about your contacts, the contact details? And so we will have the Facebook page, and our contacts can be found on the official contacts of the official webpage of the City Council. And our service office, front office, is located in the Kosovska Street. This is the Administrative Service Center, and Odessa residents know well where it is located, and you can just say at entry that you're looking for our services, and you will be referred to our front office at once. And you will be dealt accordingly with our experts. Thank you very much for joining us today. Oleksandr Korovai, Director of the Municipal Institution Service Office Veteran HAB in Odessa. And this is the last briefing for today.